I'm doing this video in between Samantha 1 and Samantha 2. It dawned on me, and I'm going to turn this around at me, because I want you to put the three together. Dawned on me, I'd kind of forgotten about this. I tried to tell everybody that when Meghan Markle married Harry, that I had been told back in 2010. I just didn't know she'd be biracial. I thought she was African American, black lady or black person. I was told that he would marry her. I didn't know who until couldn't put it together till it happened. She was on the set with her father, who worked for Married with Children, which has Peggy Bundy. That's the part she plays. But there's more to it when you get into, there's a lot more. And I put this up, if you go back when they married and right after then, I did put this up. So I didn't just come up with this, all right? I said there was more to it, that Samantha, her half-sister, it would surprise you what that meant. And it goes back in more than just what I'm putting up in the patterns. Okay, and her father is he's a white man. Her mother's black lady. Her last name has part of my son's name in it, Mark, who's heir to the crown. I'm Margaret Ann Windsor, my real name. I have to use name Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married to Childers, so Peggy Ann Childers is the name I have to use. My sons are Mark and Scott, and I've put this up. Their names have been used in some of the murders, the patterns. But I want to get to this one. I just put up Samantha, and then you can get it as number one. I just put it up, and I waited to put number two up. When I was looking through this, and I forgot about this, when I was telling about it, I just recently went back out to Scott Hill for the second time. I went the first time June 15th of 2015, I believe, or 16. No, I think it was 15. I know it was almost positive. I've got the least anything. Anyway, that's when I met, and I've just put this up. This was when I met. Back then, I didn't know her last name, and I won't give all the details again. I put it up on that first tape, and then I ran across this. Um, I had money stolen from me, and I couldn't pay the rent, so I thought, well, I'll go back out on the trail. I'm really not that healthy now, but I tried to have a place to be, and she showed up. They beat me up. There's different ways of beating you up, and the Crawfords Cross always knew about this. Everybody living in their $200 to $300 houses knew about it. It's the old trail there on Mountain Pass Road, where I told you that JFK Jr. and his cousin Radswell, they called him, I think they gave him a prince name, when actually he wasn't a prince. He married, it was Jackie Kennedy's sister Bouvier that married. And anyway, the cousin came up on the old trail. So this is back in 93 or 94. So the trail people could tell you the date. And he came up, and it was early spring, and I spent the winter up there freezing, starving. And here he comes up with all this backpack and his cousin. And he laughs, and I said, "You look like John Kennedy." He says, "That's who I am." Remember, he has what's the name of his publication he had? George. He stood there, and he said, "We came to see how we made you live," meaning I'm up on the trail. So he and all of them, that family, of course, his father helped in my kidnapping, and his grandfather was appointed by President Roosevelt, who helped in all of this. The Illuminati, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, Kennedys, helped in taking down my father, and the Kennedys helped kidnap me, JFK, and bring me to Moulton, Alabama, to a pigsty, and it's been a living friggin' hell, and I hope it's told what was done to me and my sons, Mark and Scott. I found out about my kidnapping after I was out at Larry Flint's. A program shooter shot him. I was writing about mind control. I'd worked for doctors, and I've put all this up, and so there's no need to go up if you follow me on that. But anyway, I hope I'm not garbling this. But anyway, I was talking about JFK because Jr., because he came up there loaded with food in both backpacks, spilled some of it out so I'd see it. And I told him, I mean, he'd already said that. When he said that, I really wondered at the moment if it was really JFK or somebody had sent a lookalike up there. But it was really him. And so back in 2000, it was, or 1999, he went down in the plane with Caroline, and there were twins involved there. He married a twin, and 12 days later, I believe in August, the one that was with him, the cousin, died of cancer. Now I wanted to get so you can date the time that this happened. Uh, it was for the new trail from Mountain Pass next to the post office was the next year it came to be. So it's easy to find out the year he was up there. It was 90, was that 92? It was probably 90, I'm not sure, 4, 93, 94. But anyway, he was up there, and there's got to be I couldn't just make it up anyway. But here's why I want to get back to this. Um, I'm up. I had to go before I went out to Scott Hill the first time in Clifton Forge, about 45-minute drive from Roanoke, Salem, where I'm at. Oh, money was stole from me, and I went on the trail to try to live. It was the first time one of the first times I'd gone back. I'd managed to stay afloat, okay. And I went up there, and they pretty much worked me over on Mountain Pass, where the old trail. That's what I was trying to get to in the directions. This woman came up, and I mean, they had pretty much worked me over. And this is in the National Forest, by the way. She came out, and she didn't tell me her last name, but it's just prior to me going to Scott Hill. And she told me, she didn't tell me where she lived either. I thought she was just a hiker with a dog out. Anyway, she gave me her phone number, and I was supposed to call her back. Well, during that few days, I went, oh, she brought my camping gear back, and I thought, this is so sweet, because I had to leave part of it. I was so sick. Anyway, that's how I got a phone number, and then she told me to call her when, and after this happened at Scott Hill, that would have been July the 15th, June 15th. When did I go out there the first time? I hope I didn't get this wrong. They called me this time on June the 15th. I did the same thing, went back out there, and they did the crap. They tell you they were helping me. They could help themselves to what few bucks I'm getting. Put me with nothing again, but they were doing patterns, okay, and the Scott, as in Scott Peterson's on death row, and Mark Geragos was the attorney, a great attorney. They won't allow this into court, and the media won't touch it because they're the ones that kidnapped me. The people that run it, the Illuminati, your Freemasons, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, etc. So let me get to this before I guess somebody tunes me out. Let's just put it this way. She stole my phone, by the way, on Easter. That brought me a lily that Saturday before Easter, and then she grabbed my phone. I had it out. I don't know if it was charging it or just had it out. She grabbed it before I could even get it back. Of course, she could always made up something. My word's no good for anything, right? So she deleted my phone somehow. Her son goes to Liberty University, or did, and he got his was getting a degree in computers, and They stole my pink phone too and deleted stuff off of it. Okay, now then, I got that out of the way. Come to find out, I went out to her home some after I came back from Scott Hill in 2015, and I came back, I guess, last October. I'm not sure, because they had black mold and it was all kind of hell going on, just like this time when I went back because I needed a place to. Well, it was meant to be. But anyway, I didn't know until I went out to her home. She lived about 2, 3 blocks down from the old mountain pass that I was going up, where Jeff K. Jr. came up with his cousin way back. So I went out there, and she's got this beautiful, gorgeous home. There's trees all around it, and they've cut down part of them, which just sets me off because I hate to see trees cut down. They could have bought the wood to, in the fireplace and stuff. But anyway, I found out her last name was Queen. Well, here you got me, the real queen, running up and down, starving, Mountain Pass Road, all over the place, begging, freezing. You got it. So her name's Queen, last name's Queen. They moved her over and paid for her to come over to Mountain Pass Road and meet me, and she still owed. They had not been able to sell the home over in Charlotte, North Carolina. So here they got this. And by the way, her husband, maybe this will be told someday, you should see what happened. Her husband got this great job, and they got the home provided for them. They probably had to make payments, but hey, how about the other home? Okay, so they got rewarded quite well for moving over there, and their names are the key to it. And I'm not going to say anything else there. He got a really good job, and you should see what uh, happened with that and what he helped do to me later. And it's connected. I'm not going to tell you where it's connected. I hope one day this is over and I'm alive and see my kids. But anyway, I went out to their home, and it shocked me when I found out her last name was Queen. Now then, she adopted, and I put this up. When Meghan Markel married Harry. Her adopted daughters were biological daughters. So one of them's name is Samantha Castle Queen. That was their real name, Samantha and Castle, and of course Queen was the adopted parents. Okay, Angela was the name. Angela Queen was the name of the woman that came out, the mother. And Amber Rose Castle Queen was the other biological daughter. They were sisters. I don't know how they got all that to come together, but they did. So the Samantha, I have said, when Meghan and Harry married, you'd be shocked if you ever heard what the Samantha meant in all these patterns. I had forgotten about this. This does not get into what how it's been used, the Sammy and Samantha. So maybe if this is ever told, it's links and patterns in murders, the mind control murders. So now then, what was I going to say? Okay, in 2010, I was told that Meghan, I didn't know it was Meghan, that, let me put it this way, that Harry would marry I thought it was a black woman. Well, she's biracial. Meghan is, her father's white. And there's, to his name, and right at the moment I've forgotten his name, but her sister's name's Samantha. And I put on those tapes that maybe one day you would hear where the Samantha comes into all this. But, everybody's made over Meghan marrying Harry. Harry is, may not even be the real Harry. But this is the whole thing. Elizabeth and her father stole the crown. They took down my father. He was married to my mom, and my mom was an American. They're just deleting her from history and bringing back the lies about the double that married Wallace that pretend to be my father. Elizabeth never once has come clean and made history right. She knows all about me, being kidnapped. I'm the legal heir, Victoria II. My mom and dad were married. They remained married. They were alive. as old as they were when I came to Roanoke in October the 20th of 86. So I'm going to leave that there. She's always known. She's a legal monarch. Philip is, of course, illegal. And by the way, they put a Philip there that I grew up with. I thought where they took me when they kidnapped me in 41 to Moulton, Alabama. I grew up thinking he was my half-brother. Well, I come to find out they put me where twins were murdered, Peggy and Carl, and they gave me her name, and Philip was brought in there later. And I will always love him. He was my brother to me. But the connection here is the Philip, and then Philip Mountbatten marries Elizabeth, who's illegal. She got my position. And what else was I going to say, if I can here? I said back then that it connects to where also in the patterns to Megan's father. I can't remember. Oh, Megan's father's birthday is on my son Mark's birthday. Mark is heir to the British Crown after me, and Megan's last name has Mark in it. And Megan, of course, is short for Margaret, which is my real name, Margaret Ann Windsor, Victoria II. Okay, what's the other? There's other connections there that I don't remember at the moment, other than Samantha's a half-sister, and they went on the set, Megan did, and was on it a lot. Her father worked on the set years of Married with Children, which was, the actress played Peggy Bundy. So I guess I'm going to let that go. I think you can see enough on that. And I'm going to put this one up and let you see the connections. I hope I've made it clear enough. And I'm going to put it up, and I tell you what I'm going to put up. I'm going to put up Samantha and Amber Castle Queen.